never believed in ghosts, possessions, or haunted apartments. I'm a practical guy, software engineer, logical to the core. But something happened to me in the fall of 2021 that changed everything. I still have trouble sleeping because of it. I lived alone in a modest apartment in an old building in Brooklyn. It wasn't glamorous, but it was quiet and cheap, which was all I really wanted. Apartment 3C had this faded, charm-peeling paint, hardwood floors that creaked like someone sighing beneath your feet, and windows that sometimes rattled in the wind. It was peaceful at first. Too peaceful. The first month was normal. I worked remotely, cooked, cleaned, and went about my routine. But one night, around 2:30 a.m., I was woken by what I thought was the sound of a woman humming. At first I thought it was coming from the apartment next door. Old buildings have thin walls. I ignored it. But the next night, it happened again, same time, same soft hum. Not a song I recognized, just a slow, eerie, lullaby-like tone that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I pressed my ear to the wall, but it wasn't coming from next door. It was coming from inside my apartment. I searched every room, even looked inside my closets and under the bed. Nothing, but the humming continued for about 30 minutes, then faded. I started recording my nights, just in case. The third night, I captured the sound. When I played it back in the morning, the audio chilled me to the bone. It wasn't just humming. There was whispering underneath. Barely audible, but it was there. I ran the clip through audio software to isolate the layers. After enhancing it, the whispers formed words. Don't look in the mirror. Now, I'm not someone who scares easily, but hearing that in my own apartment, in a voice I didn't recognize, made me feel like I was going insane. I didn't even have a mirror in my bedroom. I avoided them, always have. But the message, it felt like a warning or a dare. The humming returned every night that week, always the same time. I started leaving all the lights on. I'd blast music in my headphones to drown it out, but it always found a way into my ears, like it was humming inside my skull. On the 7th night, I broke. I stormed into the bathroom and stared at myself in the mirror. My heart was pounding like a war drum. Nothing happened at first. I was just me, tired, bloodshot eyes, 5-day stubble. Then my reflection blinked. I didn't. It blinked first. I stumbled back, falling into the hallway, knocking over the laundry basket. When I looked again, my reflection was back to normal. I told myself I imagined it, that it was just sleep deprivation, but I knew what I saw. The next day, I asked my landlord about the apartment. At first, he brushed me off. Old buildings make noise, he said. I didn't buy it. When I pressed harder, he grew quiet. You're not the first to say something about that unit. He finally admitted. The tenant before you left in the middle of the night didn't even take her stuff. She just vanished. My stomach dropped. Did she say why? He hesitated. She said she saw herself standing at the end of her bed. Every night, but she never moved. Just stared. I felt sick. I asked if I could break my lease, but he just shrugged. It's all in your head, man. That night, I took sleeping pills, hoping to force my way into dreamless unconsciousness. But I woke up at exactly 2:30 a.m., wide awake. The humming was louder this time, and it wasn't coming from the walls. It was behind me. I turned slowly and saw a shape in the mirror. Not a reflection. A woman, thin, in a long dress, hair hanging over her face. She was inside the mirror, not standing in the bathroom, just standing there, motionless. I couldn't move. My feet felt glued to the floor. She didn't move either, but I felt her looking at me. My breath fogged the glass, and her breath did too from the inside. Then she lifted her hand and placed her palm flat on the mirror, and blood began to run down the glass like rain. I screamed. I don't even remember doing it, but I screamed loud enough to make the lights flicker. The humming stopped instantly. The woman was gone. I didn't sleep at all. I packed a bag and went to stay at a friend's apartment for a few days. But my mind kept looping the image of her face, blurry but somehow full of sorrow, like she wasn't angry, just stuck. While I was away, I decided to look deeper. I went to the city archives and found a record of the building's previous owners. In 1978, there was a woman who lived in apartment 3C named Evelyn Marks. She was an artist known for painting abstract, mirrors, twisted reflections of faces. She was reclusive and reportedly obsessed with a mirror she found at a flea market. Her final piece, titled Silence, was never finished. She was found dead in her bathtub. The coroner ruled it a suicide, but the details were strange. Her body was found in the mirror, not reflected in it. The mirror was shattered, and the only thing left was a blood smear on the glass that read, "I can't get out." After reading that, I knew I couldn't go back, but my stuff was still there. I needed to get my laptop and hard drives for work. Against my better judgment, I returned to apartment 3C just before sunset. I told myself I'd be in and out in 10 minutes. When I walked in, the air was freezing. My breath misted in the air, even though it was October and the heating had always worked fine. The lights flickered weakly when I turned them on. I moved fast, shoving things into my backpack, avoiding looking at any reflective surfaces. Then I heard it, not humming this time. Crying, it came from the bathroom. "No," I whispered, but my feet moved anyway. The mirror was whole again, clean, shiny, too shiny, and in it Evelyn was standing, not haunting, just weeping. Her eyes met mine and her mouth moved. "Help me." Then the lights exploded. When I came to, I was outside my apartment, my bag beside me, clothes torn and face scratched like I'd been through a fight. I went straight to the hospital. They said I was in shock, dehydrated, sleep deprived, that I must hallucinated. But I know what happened. I moved across the country a month later. I work in a bright, modern office now, live in a high-rise with too many people and no mirrors. I keep them all covered. I even shower in the dark. Sometimes I still hear humming. Not often, just once every few months, and always at 2:30 a.m. But now it's closer.